Today's ride is from Exmouth up to Topsham along the Estuary trail, and we'll start off at Exmouth station, but before we do that, it's just a view here of the beach at Exmouth looking across to Dawlish Warren. Just to give you some perspective, we are down here in the county of Devon in the southwest of England, and in a little more detail, Exmouth is down here. We're going to start from the railway station, follow the track up through Lympstone, through Exton and up to Topsham. So we're following the estuary of the River Ex all the way. Starting the ride from Exmouth station, and we're going to follow the cycle trail through, right the way through to Topsham. Now initially they take you along the pavement here to avoid the main road, but it is a shared pedestrian way and cycleway. It's an October day, chilly but very bright and clear. A lot of rain forecast for later in the day, but at the moment it's looking good. Old Velocette motorcycle. Unforgettable sound. The whole of the trail from Exmouth up to Topsham is on hard surface. It does join minor roads occasionally, but there's no gravel or rough tracks to cycle on. Absolutely ideal for families with youngsters. Now we're going down through the park now. On our right is the Exmouth football ground. Got some floodlights there, presumably for training purposes. I doubt whether they're bright enough for a full game. On a summer's day, this trail is very busy with a lot of families cycling, club cycling, a lot of people walking. Really is a social occasion. Today though, we're in, say, mid-October and it's midweek, and not like to see too many people. This is the first of the short sections of minor roads, although you can ride on the pavement again here. And the trail runs alongside the Estuary, River all the way. We've separated it from it some of the time by a railway line, but it's only a little local railway that runs down from Exeter to Exmouth. Little 2-carriage and 4-carriage trains rattle along it every half hour. This path is equally good for walking as it is for cycling, and just as popular with the walkers. And up here on the left is a little exit off the made up path, which you just see it going down to the left there, for pedestrians only. and that goes down beside the railway line, crosses the railway line, and takes you actually out onto the banks of the estuary. Very popular with walkers. Little slope here. But it's about as serious as it gets on this trail. Starting to get views over the estuary now. I'll just pull in here. You can see what we're see right the way through and back down to Exmouth. And there's the local train. Right, on we go. The train stops numerous times alongside this track, so if you do need to give up walking or cycling, it's very straightforward to just get on the train and get yourself back to Exeter or up to Exmouth with your bike. We'll see a number of the stations as we cycle down here. We've got a little bit of a decking type path here. There's a number of sections of this on the trail. It keeps you above the marshy land underneath. So we're only about half a metre or a metre above the ground. We're above very wet ground. So this really is a great addition. The camera's a little bit lower than your eyesight. So I'm able to see it over the fence each side. So if you feel claustrophobic or you think there's not much of a view, there is. People admiring the view.
Estuary.
Let me just join a little lane here. But very little traffic on this. Under the railway line. So we're now close to the estuary, as you can see coming up here. And I'll stop here and just show you the view here. Looking up the estuary now. again, and right the way down the river to Exmouth. Well, that was the view. Little hill here to climb, nothing too strenuous. And now we're in the top of the village of Limpstone. I'm going to run down a little steep hill here, down to where there's a couple of shops, another access onto the estuary itself. Just show you the views here across the estuary. We just turn left up here for a few yards, and this is the view across the estuary at Lympstone village. Absolutely idyllic. That was the panoramic views. We're back in the village of Limpstone. Any traffic is very slow moving here, so nothing to worry about. Up into the car park for Lympstone village station. The trail is the other side of it. Through the chicanes. And up we go. And we go back over the railway. Railway tracks. And down the other side. Again, if you're walking, there's access here to cross the railway line and get right down onto the edge of the estuary. Popular with fishermen, as you may have noticed on the bridge there. A man with his fishing rod crossing it. Now the wind is really getting up. This is what's going to bring the rain in here shortly. Now back onto the decking above any marshy ground here. And I can actually see that we are above water at the moment. We've had a lot of rain recently. And it's no longer marshy, it's actually water Back on more decking. Man standing in the middle of the track doing something, taking a photograph. Somebody else taking photographs. You're seeing the estuary at its very best because the tide's right up. Well, there's a certain charm when the tide's right out, with the mud flats and what have you, and the bird life. Taking the dog for a walk in a fresh air. Now on our right you'll see some fence with barbed wire on the top, and we're starting the edge of the Lympestone Marine Commando camp. This is a training base, and on our right we'll see all sorts of obstacles and ropes and things to climb over and climb under. And you often see the guys out here doing their training, and no sign at the moment, but there was when I came up this morning. And a little bit further down are the firing ranges, so you can get the sound of gunfire at times. And there are some guys over there, but they're just walking. You can see the obstacles on the right there. And so that's Lympstone Commando base. And then we're going to come down now to the Village of Exton. Now back at the Commando base, as we went through those chicanes, there is a little railway station. It's a halt, and if you want to get on the train there, you have to stand on the platform with your hand out to stop the train. And if you're on the train and want to get off, you have to tell the train conductor, and it will stop back there. But the traffic is purely for the Commando camp, and not often does the train have to stop here. Now just down here is another station. This is Exton, and the train will stop here without request. I'll just take you up there because there's good views up here. We're walking out onto the platform now of the little station at Exton. You can see up the line there. We'll pan round at the estuary, back down the line the other way. Right, that was just a slight diversion. We came out the turning here on the right. Normally you turn right unless you wanted to look at the view there at the station. And we're now in the little village of Exton. Some quite large houses up at the top of the hill overlooking the estuary. It's well known for its pub here, the Puffing Billy, which has got gardens on the right where you can send the children off to play while you enjoy a drink at the pub. Very little traffic here. We turn left here and go up the hill. Path goes around to the right here. You need to be aware because people do cut the corner. That's okay. And again down here there's a turn that you've got to be aware of because I don't know if you noticed those two came very wide around the corner there.
Yeah.
A little slope up here. Very close to the railway line here, but there's no disturbance from it. As you've noticed, we've only seen one train, and that's the train will be trundling back in a few minutes. If I'm not mistaken, I can hear it now. And there it goes. It'll go up to Topsham, where there is a passing place, and the train coming back down will pass at Topsham and head back down here. From memory, the trains from Exmouth are every 30 minutes. So a good regular service, even if the train's carriages themselves are small. And we're just coming out to a junction here, and if you take a right turn, you head down to a place called Darts Farm. Darts Farm is to be highly recommended. It's a shopping centre, it's a delicatessen come farm shop, and a number of other shops. Turning there on the right, a number of other shops there as well, including hairdressers, hiking shop, Cotswold hiking or something like that, and a cafe, restaurant, well worth a visit. It's another end to this ride where you can turn around again and come back again. We're going to leave that turning and just go another mile or two to Topsham and down to the front there. Now on my right is a nature reserve which has a number of holes in the wall where you can poke your camera or your binoculars and spy on the rare birds. I was speaking to a birder here the other day, and he said it's not bad, but if you go a little further down on the left hand side there's an even better spot. Let's just go here and have a look through these vents. This is a view of the nature reserve, looking through one of the apertures in the wall. As I was saying, there is a bigger nature reserve on our left, which you can take a turning to in a moment, and that is actually the marshlands on the river Estuary, and he tells me that's a even better spot if you're into doing a birding. Now the cycle trail actually turns right up here, but if you're walking this trail you actually turn left, and it's a really nice walk, but down beside the estuary, but not wide enough for bicycles. So I thoroughly recommend the walk to the left, and we're going to go to the right here, up into the village of Topsham. Again, a little bump to get up, but nothing untoward. And there is the train going back down the line where they would have passed just up here at Topsham station. Zero to hero. Roundabout at Topsham. On our left was a old warehouse which has been converted into an antique centre with numerous dealers. And we turn left here down to the front, past the boatyard, to Topsham. And just about in time, I think, because it looks as though the rain's coming in. So what we'll do, you can go further along the front here, and eventually the trail will go up to Exeter. I think we'll call it this a halt for this. And that's it, folks. That's Exmouth to Topsham.